Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. Today I've got Jeffrey Lee, he's a personal trainer.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 30 years old. My name's Jeff Lee. I've been a personal trainer for about 3 years now. It's quite the fulfilling job. I do it part-time only though, not a full-time job for me, but it's definitely quite an experience for sure.
So what do you like most about personal training?
Seeing people's progression.
Okay.
Seeing what I can put value into their life and allowing them to reach their goals and improve their look and improve their health and see them advance and increase their lifts, increase their their endurance, their running skills, their lifting skills, the whole bunch of that.
Perfect. Do you have a particular story that you'd like to share about, like the biggest transformation that you've seen?
I have a client that's in Burnaby, and she's been with me for about 2 years now. I see her about once a month, and she definitely has improved on her running skills. She's trying to do triathlons, and so we've been concentrating mostly on endurance muscle training, light weights, but high reps, and a lot of running, a lot of cardio, and for me personally, I really like to train on the legs, because I believe legs is the most important part of your body to train in order for you to really lose weight and improve your health, because most people, like 90% of the population, are always on your feet, and if you build your muscles to be big and strong, you burn fat and burn calories a lot more naturally. Perfect.
So now, do you have like a regimen that you follow, or do you have any specific foods that you suggest?
Regimen-wise, everybody's different.
Okay.
Right? Everybody has their own goals and what they want to do, so it's always catered to whoever I'm training and the specific goals they want to reach. Food-wise, I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't recommend. I technically, legally cannot recommend foods to eat. Me personally, I use Nutrimeals, which is from a company called USANA Health Sciences, and I find that their protein and their meal replacements really up my lifts and help me with my recovery rate.
Okay, can you explain the Nutrimeal a little bit more?
The Nutrimeal is a full meal replacement, so everybody's very busy in their lives, and you need to get out of the house real quick sometimes, and sometimes it's very difficult to make a healthy, balanced breakfast in the morning. And so this is just a powdered shake. You add water, shake it up in the morning, and as I'm driving to work, I can just drink it, and it really kicks in.
So what is the difference between a Nutrimeal or say a protein shake from GNC or from Isogenics or even from Kirkland? What is the difference?
The difference is the protein that you normally get over the counter, it is not guaranteed that the protein is there or whether it's the good protein that you want. When I first started working out, I used a lot of that stuff. The problem with it was it really gave me gut rot and didn't allow my system to, I had really bad bowel movements because of that. With the Nutrimeal is not so much protein based as much as it's a meal replacement.
Okay.
So if you're looking for high protein, this is not going to give you high protein. But if you're looking for the energy and you're looking for something that's going to give you a consistent, that one extra lift at the end, I highly recommend it.
So do you know what's so special about the Nutrimeal? What are the features of the Nutrimeal?
The Nutrimeal is low glycemic, first of all. If you don't know what the glycemic index is, the glycemic index is when on a scale of 100, if you take 1 tablespoon of sugar, that's considered 100, right? And so it's how fast your body processes it through the system and how it will give you sustained energy rather than giving you spikes, such as eating a candy bar, which is very high in sugar, right? With this, it allows you to give consistent energy.
Perfect. So what if I'm like gluten intolerant? Is this very safe to take?
We do have gluten-free options for people to take as well. I personally not gluten intolerant, so I don't take it myself, so I haven't really experienced that. But there are options out there for people that are vegan, people that are gluten intolerant, people that don't really want to intake too much sugar. We have all those options.
So which is your favorite flavor?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah, I like the Dutch
That
chocolate.
used to be one of my favorites. I've actually gone to the caramel and the vanilla.
Caramel and vanilla, oh really?
Yes, the caramel is actually a new one.
Oh really? I haven't tried the
Yes.
caramel yet.
It was launched at the convention, so it was actually a really good flavor. I'm glad I picked up some.
So how many flavor packs are there now? Because I've really explored a lot of flavor packs.
I haven't gone into the My Smart Shake.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there is 10 flavors,
Oh wow.
but I haven't used that side. I
Mhm.
focus more on the Nutrimeals.
Oh, the Nutrimeals, yes.
So now, as a personal trainer, do you have foods that you would stay away from?
Anything that is considered a simple carb, such as just regular white potatoes, white bread, stuff that doesn't really process in your system that well, and is very not high nutritional value. You want the complex carbs when it comes to trying to get that energy. So whole wheat breads, quinoa is really good, brown rice, stuff like that.
Okay. And so you mentioned that you've aligned yourself with USANA.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you choose to align yourself with USANA as a personal trainer and not any other brand?
Well, USANA has been in my life more than half my life. I've been using the product for about 20 years now, and that's thanks to my father. For me, growing up, I didn't really believe in the supplementation because I believed that I was quite healthy for what I was, because I did a lot of sports. Not until I was about 14, 15 did I realize how important it was, just because I had a lot of acne on my back, on my body, and we wanted to seek medical attention for that, right? But my father said, we should really try something more natural, which the vitamins, the Biomega, which is our fish oil we have, I started to take a lot of that, and naturally over 3-4 months it cleared up, and I don't have scars on my body anymore because of it. And that's when I started truly believing in taking the vitamins and consistently taking it. And like with working out, like with anything in life, consistency is everything. And if you don't have that consistency in your life and you think, okay, I'm gonna just take the vitamins here, or just take the protein here, or work out a little bit here, and then a month later do the same thing, it's not gonna be very effective. So it's all about consistency with all this.
That's a pretty cool story to share. So what other multivitamins are you taking?
I take our base essentials, which is the essential antioxidants and the minerals and vitamins as well. I take another one called coenzyme Q10, which is our company calls it coconut, but it's coenzyme Q10, which is really good for your respiratory system, and I find that really gives me a boost in energy as well, because you get the blood flowing through your system and your respiratory system, and also you're very good for your heart health.
Perfect. So there's two types of nutrients. There's the macro and the micro. Can you explain that a little bit?
Macronutrients are your big foods, so your solid foods, your big proteins, carbohydrates, and then your micronutrients are all the little tiny vitamins and antioxidants in your body that they can absorb, because you have to intake your health inside all the different organs, and also eat healthy as well.
So as a personal trainer, how often do you train?
Are you speaking of like personally myself or train people?
No, personally yourself.
Personally myself, I'm at least 5 days a week, and whether that is actually weightlifting or just simple push-ups, simple sit-ups, anything that will get my heart rate up is considered consistency, right?
So do you work for a certain period of time, or it sort of varies?
It sort of varies, depending on how busy my day is. Usually I want to at least allot half an hour of my day to doing it, because most people actually, about 80% of the Canadian population don't get more than 150 minutes,
Mhm.
150 minutes a week of exercise. And that's a pretty scary thing. 150 minutes is not much for
No.
a whole week,
No.
right? And so if everybody can actually start to do that, you'll actually see a difference in your health.
Perfect. So now, do you have any tips for people at home as to if they're trying to get in shape or whatever that they can follow? 5 tips that they can follow?
I can give you a couple tips. For sure, one thing is after meals, walking around is actually very good. Helps with digestion, and that's also adding your exercise. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Stretching is another big thing that a lot of people don't do. Even people that are heavy weightlifters or even train a lot, they don't seem to stretch enough. There is also overstretching too, which some clients that I've had overstretch and they can injure themselves.
Mhm.
So there are different types of stretching that you can do. The difference between dynamic and like static stretching. Dynamic stretching is always good for beginning your training because you're warming your muscles up. You're not stretching the muscle in a stationary position. Whereas after you're working out, your muscles are inflamed, you want to have a stationary or a something that is not going to be moving your muscles too much.
Okay.
And that will allow more blood flow, and essentially when you're working out, you're tearing your muscles. And when you tear your muscles, you need to recover. And so with stretching, that will allow that to recover and get bigger and stronger. So you're building muscle on top of that.
So with USANA multivitamins, how does that help as a personal trainer or while you're working out?
For me personally, I find that it helps my recovery time. Specific ones for me personally is the Precosa, which it has glucosamine in it, and also it has turmeric extract. The turmeric extract really helps with the inflammation of my muscles after working out, which helps my recovery time, allows me to work that muscle a couple days after rather than having to wait a whole week. Because some people, if you're not having the right supplementation, you can be out of commission for a whole week, can't work your legs because they're too sore.
So how do you know you've got the right supplementation?
Being able to feel it.
Okay.
Everybody's different, so your body reacts differently to everything. I actually did a test for myself. I went a whole 2 weeks without taking my Precosa, and I could feel that my recovery wasn't as fast. My muscles and my joints weren't quite as limber as I would normally be, and that was just from my own personal take and seeing how my body would react to not having something that I'm usually used to having. So that's one major thing.
And generally, how long does it take for a multivitamin to digest into your system?
Anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. You can test your vitamin by actually putting it in water and seeing whether it dissolves. If it doesn't dissolve in that time, you should question what type of vitamins you're actually taking or what type of supplementation you're actually taking.
Okay, perfect. So now, again, with USANA, what is like unique about USANA compared to any other off-the-counter or from GNC or anything else out there?
Well, we are considered a pharmaceutical grade. So what does that mean? Pharmaceutical grade is what's on the label is what's exactly in the tablet. And most of the stuff that you get over the counter are considered food grade. So there's no guarantee that it's going to be what's in the label.
Mm-hmm.
And being a pharmaceutical grade, we can be very proud to know that everything that we take in there is guaranteed, and there's not going to be more or less in it. And that's why I take USANA vitamins.
Perfect. So you were saying that there's, you had bowel movements before.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the one thing that you find works or has helped?
As for me, for my regimen wise, because I do intake a decent amount of protein, I really like the fiber that we have, and paired with that is our probiotic. So when you're intaking a lot of protein, the protein needs to break down in your intestines. And unless you have a high source of probiotic, it's not going to break down to allow your body to utilize that protein. Your body can only utilize the protein by breaking it down to amino acids, because then it gets absorbed into your bloodstream,
Mm-hmm.
and then it utilizes it in all different parts of your body to recover. Now, if you don't have a high source of good probiotic, it's not going to break down, and you're going to get gut rot, and you're going bad bowel movements. Now, in order for probiotic to actually stay alive, it needs to have fiber. And fiber is what helps push all the waste of the protein, because when you take protein, you can't utilize every little piece of it. It has to have a byproduct from when it extracts the amino acid. So when you have that fiber and that probiotic and protein all working in together symbiotically, it really helps with your improvement of intaking protein, at the same time having clean bowel movements and making sure that your stomach and gut are really good.
Perfect. So do you have any exercise tips that our viewers at home can do, especially ones like me who don't like going to the gym?
Yeah, I can show you a couple of them, just very simple movements. Mind you, I don't train anybody with any ailments, so if you do have ailments, I recommend you not following what I do, because I don't want you to injure yourself. These are for people that have no real prior injuries, or people that are of health that are not afraid to hurt themselves because of their injuries before. So the first one I can show you here, put down this. The first one I can show you is the squat, which everybody knows the squat. And the simplest thing for you to do is actually take a chair that you have at home. This chair is a little low. You can actually have a little bit higher of a chair. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that your legs are square to your shoulders, and you have your feet tracked out just a little bit. And when you come down, you want to make sure that your core is tight. And in order for some people, they like to start off with having something to balance forward, right? Your weight is supposed to be in your heels, not on your toes, your heels. So you should be able to lift your toes as you drop down. So putting your hands up like this will help counterbalance yourself so you won't fall backwards, especially for people that don't have that much experience with it. So also another thing is, if you have a higher chair, you can actually hold onto the chair to make sure that you have that kind of support going downwards. So quickly as you're coming down, you want to keep your core tight and just touch your butt to the chair and come back up. And you want to go 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. The slower the movement, the more your muscle is engaged. Some people, they want to go fast, they want to go quick. Unless you're a very advanced person to be working out, you usually don't want to be doing such quick movements. That's prone to more injury. The next one is another very simple one, is you can take a chair at home as well, and just a tricep dip. Some people like to, when you start off, very simple, keep your legs 90 degrees here, and you just want to drop down just a little bit. And as you're going down like this, you want to make sure that your core is tight. Always tighten your core, because that's what keeps balance throughout your whole body. Now with doing this, you can make things more advanced by sticking out your feet like this and dropping, and then even more advanced by lifting your leg. But I recommend everybody start off in your 90-degree angle like this, sitting downwards, and just consistently, slowly. You don't ever want to move fast in these movements, because it's all about form when it comes to working out. If you don't have the correct form, you can really injure yourself.
Yes, I've had a few too many injuries myself, so yeah, I definitely know that form's important, but those were excellent tips. Thank you so much. So now we're going to take questions from our audience. Do we have any questions? Do you guys have any questions for us?
How often should you exercise if you are 50 and over?
I personally, I would recommend at least 3 times a week minimum, doing some sort of exercise, some sort of movement to get your heart rate up. Exercise doesn't mean always lifting weights. Exercise doesn't mean always running. It's just getting into movements that are going to allow your heart rate to rise. And having your heart rate up will exercise your heart, at the same time get your blood flowing through your body a lot more efficiently.
Any other questions?
Oh, no more questions?
Nope. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. It was a pleasure. I look forward to talking to you later.